Welcome to Mrs. Peach Thrifty Living. I'm so happy you're here today. Today is hashtag Thursday BookTube, hosted by our wonderful friends Patty, Life with Patty, and Daphne at My Mountain Home and Kitchen. You can go check and see what they're posting and what everyone else in this awesome collaboration posts. If you want to read a book, if you want to get some inspiration to clean your bookshelf out, anything to do with a book. Can be a magazine, whatever you like. With that being said, I am on my way to the dentist in just a few minutes. More teeth work. Oh boy. But I'm so thankful I have that little dental insurance. You know, I think it's about $150 a year. And you have to go to certain dentists. And I like my dentist, so I'm happy to be there as much as you can to go to a dentist. Anyway, I'm going to have a crown on one of my front teeth. It's got a cavity. Actually, you know, it had a filling in it for years. And so now it's on to the crown. And the one next to it's got to have a filling. So I'm thankfully it wasn't both of them, because crowns not cheap, even with your little insurance plan. Okay, enough said about that. Let's talk about a book. Actually, at our Bible study last week, one of the girls had brought in some boxes of books. She was cleaning out her shelf, and she says, these are going to the thrift store if nobody wants them. So I looked through there and found 2 or 3, and I thought I would show you this Home Remedies. This is a little booklet, I should say. Home Remedies for Everyday Health Problems. It's an old book. It's 1987. Wow, copyright. Okay. And, you know, I know we can find all these things on the internet these times. And it's so interesting to look and see. But some of these, you know, some of them is just age-old things that you could refer back to if you chose to. Oh, let's see. I heard somebody talk about, oh, before I get into that, let me tell you what. There's my brother out there. He's working in his yard. He mowed the lawn today. Okay, back to the story at hand. I can easily get moved on to another subject. At our tops yesterday, one of the girls was talking about that, I think she said a doctor told her one time that when she had cramps, to take, you know, that pink Himalayan salt that you get, and take a crystal of that or a piece of it and put it under your tongue, and it would instantly relieve your cramps. Now, I'm not telling you this works, but that's what she said. So you might want to give it a try. So I always like to hear those kind of things. But then this reminded me of this, uncramping muscle cramps. Okay. And that's a reader's survey. And they talked about different ones. One of them said, whenever I get a leg or a foot cramp, I point my toes upwards, whether I'm standing, sitting, or lying down. Do you do that? Another one said, recently I got into the habit of lying down to read the newspaper on a Sunday afternoon. And to my amazement, I got a foot cramp. But I took the hint from prevention and tried propping something against the bottom of my foot while reclining. And what do you know? It went away. Actually, if I get a cramp in my leg or my foot, I have to jump up from where I'm at and stand up. And that usually does the job. So they're talking about, and Charlie horses, basically. They didn't say the word Charlie horses. And then soothe and heal skin injuries. See what this one says. On a recent trip, I inadvertently picked up a hot skillet with my bare hand and burned my thumb and index finger. I immediately applied ice to the area, but got little relief. So I melted a vitamin C tablet into a paste and rubbed it into the burns, and the pain stopped. Okay. No blister formed, and the area soon healed. Now that's a new one on me. Have you heard that? Okay, they're talking about baking soda treatments, and we know there's a lot of those out there. Okay. Here's another one. Help for the sneezes and sniffles. Okay, I think we might all know this one. I'm a professional singer and musician, and last week I had a bad sore throat. I had enough, it was bad enough to interfere with my voice. So I dissolved a couple of zinc tablets in my mouth. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how that tastes, but if it did the job. The next day, I was back to singing as usual. And the editor's note on that was, researchers associated with the University of Texas in Austin have discovered that sucking on a zinc lozenge can reduce cold symptoms. Speculate that the zinc attacks the cold. Well, I think we've heard more and more about that in the past days, since 1987. That's a long old time. There's Aid for the Sleepless. Now, I don't know whether you could ever find this book, but we're talking about a book, and Filling Hell and Hearty with a diet. That should prove interesting. Recently, I was battling an array of physical symptoms. My head constantly throbbed with pain. My ears were stopped up most of the time, and my throat was dry and ached day and night. My doctor, unfortunately, was at a loss to help me. He said he couldn't find anything wrong with me. Oh boy, that's hard after that. After a lot of thought, I began to suspect that I was having an allergic reaction to something in my diet. You know, I think they find that out a little more, maybe faster. So I kept a diary of everything I ate. And it wasn't long before I detected a dietary pattern connected to my reactions. Whenever I ate sugary foods or those containing white flour or drink chlorinated city water, my symptoms got worse. When I determined these culprits, the symptoms went away. Yeah, there's a lot to that. Okay. There's my book. Be sure and check out see what everybody else posts this time. I am reading that book that I talked about last week. I'm slow reading. It's because I don't get into it very often. I find so many other things I need to do or want to do also, although the book is really good. And then again, sometimes a lot of stress on my eyes. I have to watch that too. And okay. Thank you for watching. Check all the other girls out, Patty and Daphne and everyone else that participates in this wonderful collaboration. And I pray that you'll be. See you tomorrow, and don't forget, Jesus loves you.